This is Radio Taiwan International. Welcome to the news on Radio Taiwan International. I'm Michelle Chang, coming to you from Taipei, Taiwan. We begin with a look at today's top stories for Friday, August 15th. $60 billion has been allocated to post-disaster recovery efforts in southern Taiwan. Taiwan adds residency options for Hong Kong or Macau residents. And Taipei marks 80 years since the victory against Japanese occupation and Taiwan's retrocession. But first, today's top story. The Special Act for Post-Disaster Recovery and Reconstruction passed its third review in the Legislature on Friday, enacting a budget of $60 billion or $1.9 billion for various reconstruction projects. In July, Typhoon Danas and subsequent heavy rains severely damaged southern Taiwan. The cabinet approved a draft for the Special Act last week, which was then expedited through the legislative review process. Previously, the funding cap was $56 billion or $1.86 billion. The cap was increased after Legislative Speaker Han Kuo-yu convened a meeting between the ruling and opposition parties, during which they agreed to allow funding to be sourced from the previous year's annual budget surplus or through debt repayment. The Special Act will remain in force until December 31st, 2026, except for reconstruction projects for power systems, telecommunication systems, cable broadcasting and television, and water conservancy facilities, for which it will remain in force for an additional year. The legislature also passed an accompanying resolution regarding flood relief. Households with flooding exceeding 50 centimeters will receive an additional 20,000 NT dollars or $665 in addition to the amount stipulated under flood disaster relief categories. Low-income or lower-middle-income households will receive 30,000 NT dollars. The CCP's ongoing United Front infiltration is prompting a need for Taiwan's government to review the residence and settlement for Hong Kong and Macau residents in Taiwan, according to Mainland Affairs Council or MAC chairperson Chiu Zui-zhen. Chiu announced that the government will be introducing long-term residency as an option for individuals from Hong Kong and Macau. As he spoke at a symposium to promote Taiwan-Hong Kong economic and cultural cooperation this Thursday, Chiu welcomed immigrants interested in developing their careers and starting a new life in Taiwan. He noted a dedicated hotline for consultation and guidance to help Hong Kong and Macau residents successfully integrate into Taiwanese society. A combination of changes in Hong Kong and Macau with the CCP's intensified United Front efforts in Taiwan has prompted the government to comprehensively review the current residency and settlement system, said Chiu. He said they are looking to establish more security management mechanisms and address public concerns in order to preserve Taiwan's free and democratic lifestyle. The current system will be restructured to include 3 stages: residence, long-term residence, and settlement. The addition of the long-term residence stage will provide more flexible options, including individual work permits, free entry and exit, and an option to apply for settlement. The new system will first be rolled out during a transition period. The MAC plans to hold 6 seminars on residency and settlement for Hong Kong and Macau residents in various locations across northern, central, and southern Taiwan this year. Taipei Mayor Zhang Wan'an said the war of resistance against Japanese aggression symbolized the national government and military's unwavering resolve to never surrender. This, he stressed, is a historical fact that must never be forgotten or taken away. Also known as the Second Sino-Japanese War, the 8-year conflict ended with Japan's unconditional surrender on August 15, 1945. To mark the occasion, the memorial exhibition commemorating the 80th anniversary of victory in the War of Resistance and the retrocession of Taiwan opened on Friday at Taipei City Hall under the theme My Country, My People. In his remarks, Zhang said the war saw more than 40,000 battles and about 3.2 million military personnel killed or wounded. He noted that August 15th holds special significance for the Republic of China. In 1937, it marked the start of the bombing of Nanjing. In 1945, it marked Japan's unconditional surrender, ushering in peace and Taiwan's retrocession.
This is a historical fact that cannot be erased, diminished, forgotten, or taken away. It also represents the nationalist government and military's most enduring and indomitable fighting spirit.
The exhibition was curated by former National Taiwan University President Guan Zongmin and attended by KMT Chairman Eric Chu, former Chief of Staff of the General Staff of the Republic of China Armed Forces Li Ximing, and former Commander-in-Chief of the Republic of China Army Chen Zhenxiang. President Lai Ching-te said that after World War II, humanity turned to rebuilding and creating prosperity. The devastation, he noted, left a lasting lesson. Quote, peace is priceless and there are no winners in war, end quote. Friday marks the 80th anniversary of Japan's surrender on August 15, 1945, ending the war. Lai said that while Taiwan now enjoys freedom, democracy, peace, and prosperity, it must still reflect on history's painful lessons. World War II's outbreak, he warned, was driven not only by the aggressor's ambitions, but also by complacency toward those ambitions and the illusion that compromise could secure peace, giving aggressors the chance to act until conflict spiraled out of control. He reflected on two events. Weeks after the war ended, a transport plane carrying released Allied POWs from the United States, Australia, and the Netherlands crashed near Jiaming Lake during a typhoon, killing all aboard. Rescue teams, including Japanese military police, indigenous people, and Taiwanese from Hoklo and Hakka communities, climbed into the mountains to search, but many also perished in severe weather. The tragedy became known as the Sansha Mountain Incident. Earlier this month, Taiwan's representative to Japan, Li Yiyang, attended Hiroshima and Nagasaki peace memorials for the first time. He joined representatives from around the world, including former enemies now standing as democratic allies, to honor the dead and call for peace. Lai said that the former Axis powers have since become free democracies that uphold market economies, rule of law, and human rights, serving as proof that democracy is the healthiest form of human civilization. Only by ending confrontation and building trust, he added, can the world move toward a shared future. After a 15-year hiatus, Taiwan hosted the World Indigenous Broadcasters Network, or WIBN, conference again, welcoming delegations from New Zealand, Canada, Australia, Norway, and more. Vice President Hsiao Bi-khim spoke at the welcome dinner this Thursday, welcoming the international delegates to share their experiences in preserving and promoting indigenous languages and cultures, while praising the contributions of Taiwan's indigenous people. Council of Indigenous Peoples, or CIP chairperson Lejiao Kuzinru, expressed satisfaction that Taiwan has consistently participated in the alliance and continues to promote the inheritance and protection of indigenous languages since last hosting the WIBN conference 15 years ago. He remarked,
"We have always believed that telling our stories in our native languages is the most authentic. Here we hope to connect Taiwan's indigenous peoples with those around the world, especially because many of us speak nearly the same language, so we have many connections."
The Indigenous Peoples Cultural Foundation added that this conference will celebrate the 20th anniversary of Taiwan Indigenous Television, or TITV, and feature a language forum. Through multiple dialogues and exchanges, they say they hope the event will rethink the role of media in the future of communities, particularly exploring digital media and emerging technologies that can inject new vitality into language and culture. A German woman named Greta decided to register her marriage to her boyfriend Martin in Tainan on Thursday. She made this decision following a memorable experience traveling in Taiwan last year, which she has come to call her spiritual home. Greta's father is a physics professor at a German university who had previously enjoyed a visit to Taiwan. Following a series of personal setbacks that had left her feeling depressed, Greta's father suggested she travel to Taiwan to reset. When she first arrived in Taipei, Greta said she was struck by the liveliness of the city and its convenience, but what truly touched her was the kindness of Taiwanese people, particularly the warmth she experienced from residents of Tainan. Greta's positive experience in Taiwan led to her decision to bring her boyfriend of many years, Martin, to Taiwan so that he could see for himself. Since they were discussing marriage, she decided to register their marriage in Tainan. Director of the Tourism Administration's Frankfurt office, Xie Zhangming, said that when he heard a German national had contacted their office to inquire about the documents needed to register her marriage in Taiwan, he wanted to know more. He asked for Greta's contact information and invited her for coffee to learn her story. She has said that promoting tourism is more than just clerical work. A single word or small gesture from a Taiwanese person can touch the hearts of international visitors. Thanks for joining me for the news. I'm Michelle Chang. Stay tuned for another 50 minutes of English language features brought to you by Radio Taiwan International.
Hey guys, do you know RTI is not only on shortwave?
Aside from our website, we are also on most social media platforms. We are on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram.
Search Radio Taiwan International on Facebook.
Type in Radio Taiwan_ENG on Twitter.
And RTI English for YouTube and Instagram.
To learn more about Taiwan's local news, culture, and find out about our feature stories.
Remember to like, follow, and subscribe to be the most up-to-date possible.